Yeah, it's like cutting in and out. All right, everybody. This is Daniel Timtim. We are at Dave's Island Instruments, and this is the Ukulele Live Show. We're kind of having some technical difficulties right now, so if we do cut out, sorry. Um, we were supposed to have Kamaki on, but we cannot hear him right now, and we're having audio issues. So um, let me get back to you, and we'll be starting maybe soon, unless we have more issues here. Alrighty, everybody. We were having some technical difficulties right now, and I was thinking about canceling this class, but you guys will have to deal with me. Kamaki was on before. Was going to give you Kamaki Kiavi was going to give you some tips and tricks, but we could not get him on for some reason. We were having internet problems, but um, welcome to our live show. I'm excited to be here. And this is kind of going to be off the cuff because our whole plan just got exnayed. But I'm excited to be here, you guys. It's a happy Saturday. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. I got my COVID safe thing. I just can't talk with it on. So, but anyways, today we were going to have Kamaki Kiavi. He's one of our local musicians that does lessons. I'm actually going. I'll get him on the next Saturday class, and then hopefully we won't have these technical difficulties. But I think we're just having internet issues or something like that. But I'm excited. How's everybody out there doing? Can I get some comments so I can get excited that you guys are listening? But every day, keep on strumming ukulele. That's my motto. And I'm kind of off subject right now because, let's see. Actually, first things first. Right now, for Dave's Island Instruments, I know they're lifting some of the restrictions, but right now we are doing curbside pickup. If you do set up an appointment. Hi, Nikki. How you doing? Nice to see you. Hi, Amy. How's it going? But just FYI, we are doing curbside pickups. You can go to our website. If you go to our website, it looks like, let's see if I can do this, Command 9. Looks like that. And if you go to, you can actually order everything online here and have a pickup. So check it out. Check out our website. Cool stuff. Other than that, business has been good. We've been really, really busy. And I'm trying to get myself back here. Hold on a second. And I am back. All right, cool. And today, we'll probably just go over some basics, just the basics that I usually do. And then we'll maybe do a couple of songs and then go from there. Anybody have any questions right now? Any problems that they're having with their ukulele that I can answer right now? Or as I go along, just go ahead and answer ask the question on chat, and I will take care of it. Let's see. I got to check my notes here. Boop, 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 boop. All right. I'm trying to see what we're going to be doing today. Bear with me. I am trying to do this on first things first. I'm going to bring up. We're just going to go over the basics today. Let me find my basic screen. All right, hold on a second. Sorry, guys. I will be right with you. Campaign lessons, revised music allowance. Actually, let me do this first. Command 8. Command 8. And bring it back. All right, let's talk about this. We've been talking about this for a while, and it's your musical daily allowance. Dave has been talking about this, and if you've checked out this chart, it's pretty cool. Right now, I think it's a perfect time to get your daily music allowance and all these things: relax, happy, release sadness, focus. I think a lot of us need that right now. And to just take a look at this and see what you guys can do to actually take your ukulele and use this information to help you relax, be happy, and release sadness, which is really cool. One thing that I've taught in the past is to actually do your practices. And lately, as I've been doing my practices, just my finger exercises like this, I've been kind of using it as a meditation. I think I've talked about this before, but what you need to do when you're using this to either be relaxed or happy or doing all this stuff is actually just take your time on the notes. And I've said that I say this all the time, but I'm going to say it again. The slower you go, the faster you get, and the more confident you get with your fingers. So when you're doing your exercises or your plucking exercises like this, try to do it really slow. And be really meditative about it. Lots of times what I do is I can close my eyes and do the same thing. And just listen to that note. And even try it right now. Just listen to the sound. Let it reiterate. Close your eyes. Breathe. And if you can do it like that, I think it's a very meditative state. Sometimes we hurry through our practices too fast, I think, and we can actually, slow down and do that. So,
Amy has a question.
Amy, ooh, I see a question. Here, I'll bring it on the screen. Here we go. Amy. All right, Amy, thank you for your question. And here it is. I've been practicing picking the melody. Question, how do I strum and play the melody in the same time? All right, this is a good question because this has to do with the practices that we actually do. So for the beginners out there that have been out there, I think Carrie's going to be putting links on for like the songs that we have, and there's actually ukulele starter charts. I think she has that link up there. If not, they should be on the website. But I'll put them on the screen in a minute. But to answer your question, Amy, how do I strum and play the melody in the same time? Well, first of all, one of the practices. Let me back up here. Actually, adjust this camera. I need to adjust. How you guys doing? Yay! All right. All right. Can you guys see that? Good, 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 good. All right. When I'm doing my practices, what I just showed you, you want to get that down first, is get your picking. Now, to strum and pick at the same time, what needs to happen is you need to do those at the same time. If you remember on my practices, when I do get to the end, I do like a strum practice and going around the C note. If you guys remember, C major 7, C7, F, A minor, and then C. Okay, that would be the riff. You got a lot of chords to mess with on that actual point. So what I first start out with is actually plucks, maybe just do a linear pluck up and down, okay? Just like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what you can actually do is actually strum and then do that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the next chord, C major 7, strum, 2, 3, 4. Strum, 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then strum, 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you do that, you can go faster. So you can go, and then you can add a different picks in there, and you're still in time, just like that. Okay. So it's funny. It just all goes back to those practices that you actually do, Amy, and you just keep on adding strum, pick, strum, pick. I also do, like I have certain patterns that I use the pick. There's a linear 1, 2, 3, 4. So you hit it 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, da. So back, up, and down. I have a low G, so it's more linear. It's going to sound a little bit different on a high G, but you can still do the same thing just to get the practice and get your fingers going up and down. And then in between those, you can just add a strum. And this, I use different strums, or different picks. Kind of start from the bottom string, go up, and then go up and down, starting with the bottom, or you can start with the top string or the G string and do that. There's also different plucks that I've been doing like this. And you you guys don't have to use that scale or those chords that I use. You can make up anything you want, but just in the time, just make sure you're using that same riff, and then you just add picks as you go along. Okay, Amy, hopefully that helps you. Cool. Hey Gary, how you doing? David Berry's on. Yay, go David Berry! Let's see, who else did I see? Nikki Bear. All right, guys, nice. Carrie's over there laughing. I don't know what she's laughing at right now, so hold on. All right, let me get my basic sheet up. Teach yourself how to play ukulele. There we go. Boom. And we'll just go with this for now. Let's get over. Is that okay for you guys? All right. Going back to the basics, one of the things that I've been working on lately for ukulele is just continuing to do my basics. I did have recently, I was playing with a neighbor and I was doing some handpan and actually guitar, but I learned some other stuff today. And the cool thing about learning ukulele is that you learn stuff every single day. And I think by doing my basics all the time, it has helped me, get my hands really well, and I can do my chords really easy. And now I can slide my bars down and stuff like that. Once you learn that, there's a lot. I wish I could explain it. It's kind of tough to explain what I learned yesterday because it's all the stuff that I've learned previously, and it comes to a point where you're like, oh my God, I get it. And I think it was actually just moving, like doing bar chords and moving them down. Okay. So in your basics, that's why it just proved to me that doing my basics really, really, really helps out. So hopefully you guys are, practicing every day and doing the things that you do. So I'm gonna talk with the beginners a little bit right now. If you guys take a look at the chart, we're going to do a little history of the ukulele. It's an Hawaiian adoption of the Portuguese machete or cavaquinho. And it's funny, you guys should go check those out. If you guys ever never seen a cavaquinho or machete, just Google it and you'll see what it looks like. And it looks almost exactly like this ukulele. I think for a cavaquinho, the body is wider. So, that's what happens. The word ukulele, roughly translated, is jumping flea. If you guys didn't know that, I always talk about the three stories about what ukulele stands for. And jumping flea, basically the translation is uku is head lice or fleas, and lele is to jump. So hence ukulele, jumping flea. The first story is back in the day when they had Portuguese workers coming to Hawaii to go work in the sugarcane fields. They had their cavaquinos and they jumped off their ukulele or jumped off the ship and they were jumping around. That's why jumping flea, I guess. Another one, which I think is true, is actually moving your fingers along the board. If you ever watched a ukulele player and it looks like their fingers are jumping, I think that's the real reason why it's called jumping flea. But I love this last story, and because the ukulele is such a special instrument to me, I like this story. And according to Queen Liliuokalani, the last Hawaiian monarch, the name means the gift that came here from the Hawaiian word, or old meaning uku is gift, and lele is to come. So ukulele, and I like that one actually. And the fun part about learning ukulele is actually looking up this information online and checking out the different stories about ukulele, because you'll see how it actually started, and it gets you more interested. And it's good to know your history or know where the ukulele actually comes from. So next thing we're going to talk about, and actually it was funny, even though Kamaki is not on right now, we had a chance to talk yesterday, and he is such an awesome person. He's been playing ukulele since he was in high school, and actually he's been a working musician for quite a long time, and we were talking about that because a lot of times when you hear musicians, the struggling musicians and stuff like that, um, uh, Kamaki had found a way to make it his life and actually do something fun and make a living at it, which I think is amazing. For all of you guys that are out there thinking like, oh yeah, if I played ukulele and I can't make a living, Kamaki is one of those people that actually has been successful. And I wish I had him on because I was going to ask him that question, what were those things? But hopefully next time, I think this next Wednesday, we're having a Wednesday Ook social. I'll see if Kamaki's available and get him on and do some stuff. So I think that would be cool. Dun, dun, dun. Oh yeah, long money. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Yes, definitely. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. All right. So getting into the beginner tips and actually talking to Kamaki yesterday, I was like, the one thing that he said, and we were talking about this. It was funny he said it because I never prompted him on this, or I never showed him what my beginner tips was. And his first thing was the why. Why are you playing ukulele? And it was kind of cool what he told me, and I think one of the big things when he was younger, it was the sound of the ukulele, and it kind of caught him, and then he just went forward. He has kind of a similar story because he was self-taught. I'm self-taught ukulele with a lot of YouTube and also just watching a lot of other people. So, he talked about the why, and I think for you guys out there, if you're a beginner or a novice, if you're on this call, I know you have a good why because you're trying to learn how to play ukulele. And mindset, I'm going to talk about it a lot. We can talk about chords and where to place your fingers and stuff like that. But if you don't have the mindset to actually get through the learning process, or the pain of when anybody's fingers hurting right now, or when your hands cramp up, or when all those little things that like cause people to quit basically. Those things will cause you to quit, but your mindset or your why will continue to make you go. Because I don't know how many times I sat there going, oh my god, my hand hurts, and just kept on going. And I think that's for any instrument that you play, you're gonna have that process, and you have to get through that. So find your why and keep on going, and just remember every day, keep on strumming ukulele. All right. Next thing right now is get a decent ukulele, and I'm gonna put a plug in today for Dave's Island Instruments. We are doing curbside pickup. We do have ukuleles, and I talked to Ohana Ukuleles. If we do not have them in stock, I can get them for you pretty quickly. They're just down the street, and I can definitely pick up.
Marlita is in the house.
Marlita! What up, Marlita? Nice. Learning some ukulele. Got it. So, and that means getting a decent ukulele right now. I've been kind of out. I've been talking to people, keeping my social distance and stuff like that. And once they find out that I'm a ukulele instructor, they're like, oh yeah, I want to learn ukulele. And so, there's a lot of people out there that want to get ukuleles. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Actually, I forgot about that. Happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. Don't forget to say Happy Mother's Day to them. Mom, if you're watching, I love you. Happy Mother's Day. And to my beautiful honey that's sitting right here. She's one of the greatest mothers in the world. So happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. I just got to say that. And on that note, I'm going to plug it again. What a great gift to give your mother than an ukulele. So check out our website if you want to get your mom a ukulele. The gift of music, I believe, is one of the best gifts you can actually give. So cool. Get a decent ukulele. There's a lot of different ukuleles out there. If you want to find out about ukuleles, there's Gary Gattori online right now. He's awesome. Chat with him. He knows a lot about ukuleles, and he has a lot of different ones. Okay. All right. So next thing, we're going to go on to holding the ukulele. And I'm just going to talk about it. I always show people how to. Hopefully I don't make a noise there. All right. how to actually hold the ukulele. And this is one of the things about getting used to your ukulele and making sure that it just feels comfortable in your hand. So what I do is, for all you right-handers, most of us are right-handers, you would take your right hand, place it down onto your ukulele, hold it like this, straight out, and then bring it into you just like that. And then you should have right here, you should have a good hold on it, and then this hand should be loose, okay? And you should be, I think this chart is too big, so let me make it smaller. Is that better? So you can see me. Oh yeah, there we go. That might be better. Boom, boom. All right, good. I don't have to move as much. But get that position. If you can see how I'm sitting, a lot of people like to have it at angle. If you see it going up like this, and then this should be free floating. And I would practice, I say this a lot, just practice holding your ukulele, because in the beginning I know how cumbersome it can be. So, you know, just walk around the house. You have some time, walk around, try to do some chores with your ukulele in hand. Sometimes I remember, like, I have a strap, so if I'm walking around the house, and sometimes I'll just have the strap with me, and I'll do my chores and play ukulele as I'm doing my chores. I'm crazy like that, so so awesome. So that's how you hold your ukulele. Some of the basics that you should learn: notes versus chords, A, B, C, D. Yes, you know, Gary, yes, you know a lot about ukulele. I know you do. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, those are your major notes. Later on, you'll get into that. One of the things for me as I was playing, I kind of didn't do music theory in the beginning. I went for the techniques, and that's what I like to teach, because I never played an instrument, and playing a stringed instrument, you have to have a little bit of dexterity in your fingers. And the more dexterity that you actually have, the better time you are going to have playing the ukulele. So get those technique practices down, all right? But as you go along, you're going to want to learn about music theory, notes versus chords. A single note would be just if you were to pluck, the first chord that you usually learn is a C on a ukulele, and it's right there on your 3rd fret. On your A string right there. So that would be a one note, and then if you played all the strings, that would be a C chord, and you're playing 4 notes, which would be the G, the C, the E, and actually a C note, since you changed that bottom note to a C. Okay, that's the difference between notes and chords. The ukulele tuning, let's see, we'll show this real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Close that. The ukulele tuning, as you see on this chart, is G, C, E, A. Okay, this top string, the one closest to you, okay, is the G string. The next one down, which is string 3, which is C. Let's see. The second string is E, and then the first string is A. And if you notice, it counts from 4, starting from the string closest to your face is 4, 3, 2, 1. A lot of times we get that confused when you're in a lesson or talking with somebody about ukulele. We think the 4 is down here, but it goes 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, just remember that when you're looking at charts and stuff like that, that's going to be helping you. Strumming wise, I know a lot of you out there, you've gone through this exercise before, but we're going to do it again, all right? And basically, we're going to start out with the thumb strum, okay, which looks like that, okay? And for you beginners out there, I know when you're holding your ukulele, you think it's going to break on you. It feels kind of light and like a toy, but this ukulele can take some pressure. If you notice, I'm pulling out on my strings, and if you have your ukulele, go ahead and do that. See how that is. Just pluck that string and don't be afraid to do it. Just confidently pluck that string, because a lot of times I see people are tentative. I don't need these headsets. Are tentative and they don't pluck that string. All right. So get that down. And what you want to do on a thumb strum, get your thumb on the outside. You see that? See how I'm pulling the string? And then if you can see it, I'm pulling it out like that. Do that, and then what you want to do is take your thumb, probably the end of this piece. I kind of get like a little nail and a little thumb action like that. But you want to place it on the top string right here. And what you want to do is, just to practice, this is going to be a slow-mo thumb strum, is basically start from the top, rest your thumb on the top string, and then push, but rest on the next string. So, but stop, like that. Okay, push through, and then push through again, and then push through again, and then push through all the way through. Now that's a slow motion thumb strum, and what you want to do is practice that. Go slow, listen to that note, that G, C, E, A, and then slowly go faster and faster, faster and faster, until you're just breezing it like that. And if you notice my fingers here, okay, you notice I'm like kind of holding it right there. You can place your fingers there if you want. You know, just make it very comfortable. And just feel the strings. And what you want to do is you want to hit every string. You want to hit G, C, E, A, G, C, E, A, G, C, E, A. You want to hit every strum. Sometimes people may just breeze and hit the bottom three strings. Sometimes you might just hit the top three, but make sure you're actually strumming through all four strings. Okay? So do that a couple times. Actually, we'll do a few thumb strums right now. I know this is very basic information, but hey, let's just do what I call a 4/4. This is a good practice to actually just get your timing down, and practice your strum, and try to just have a smooth strum. And what we're going to do is just thumb strum 4 times. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and end. And that's when we pause, and then we go back to 1, 2, 3, 4, end. And we're going to do that 4 times. And on the last strum, you're going to actually do an extra strum, because we're just going to do that. And I'll let you know why in a minute. All right, so here we go. We're going to do 4 4s on a thumb strum. I'll count you out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and strum. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, stop. Okay, and the reason why we do one at the end is because whatever note you start with, you end with that note, so you have to add one more if you understand that. All right, so that's a thumb strum, and I use that quite a bit. Just get used to doing that all the time. You can also use your thumb going up, and what you do is you use the back of your thumb. And what you kind of want to do when you're going up, you want your thumb parallel, not sideways. You want it parallel. You want your thumb, all your thumb going on. I think we were talking to Nikki. Her finger was getting caught on her finger was getting caught on the strings, and it was because of the way you position your actual finger. And that gets me to the next one, which is the finger strum. Okay, and the finger strum is similar to the thumb strum, but you're only using your finger. And what I want you to do is take your finger, okay, get it underneath the string, and do that again. Just get used to your finger hitting that string. You can do it on all of them. Just get used to it, okay? And as we learned with A, and Nikki asked this question, is when you put your finger, when you're using your finger strum, you want it to curl under like this, and you want your finger to be parallel to the strings, because if you have it slightly angled, you're gonna catch your skin on the string and it might dig in and you might get caught. So if you're going like this, it actually floats for a finger strum. And if you look at it, it looks like, you see that? Kind of like one of those prize wheel, and you have that little ticker thing on the top, and it goes along those things. That's what you want to happen. Okay? So, slow motion finger strum, basically same thing. Don't forget to curl your finger under, and if you could see that, I'm like that. Okay? You can press your finger like this too. It might be a little bit easier, or you can just have your finger like that. Okay? But what you want to do, start from the top string again, just like on the thumb strum. Push down, then push, and then push. All right? Same thing. Go slow, then faster, and then pretty soon your finger will be just like that prize wheel. Okay? You can practice back and forth if you want. When you go up, you're actually using the bottom of your finger like that. You're sliding across, so it goes. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so right now we're just going to do 4 down strums on the finger, just to get your beat right. Same thing as the thumb, and we're going to do what I call 4/4s again. Okay, so let's get ready, and we're going to do 4/4 on our finger strum. On 4, ready, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and strum, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and one more, stop. Nice. Nikki, did you get your finger caught on that one? Hopefully you didn't, and you're doing it right. All right. So cool. Now, let's see.
Nikki has a question.
Oh, Nikki has a question. Another strum question. If the strings sound like they're buzzing during your chord, what should I adjust? Actually, this is another great question because I've been actually practicing this. I'm going to put your question on here. Boom. Boom, boom. I'll get rid of this. I actually been practicing, not buzzing. Check your strings too. Just make sure that the tuning's right and you don't have any loose tuning pegs also if you're getting a buzz on certain things. But if it's a technique situation, then basically as you're doing your practices, Nikki, I know you know the daily practices that I do. What you want to do is, and this is what I've been doing, is where do you place your finger inside the fret? Okay? Do you go back or do you go forward towards the fret? If you guys understand what I'm talking about. Lately I've been practicing guitar and the frets are way bigger. So when I'm actually in the middle, there's a lot of loose string between the frets so it'll buzz. Okay? Now if you're getting a buzz, maybe your finger is too far back instead of forward. If you understand what I'm saying. For example, if you were to bar, if you bar on this side right here, you might get a buzz. Yeah, just like that. But if you bar here, now you get the thing. If that makes sense. So, in a finger, when you're using your finger should be as close to that, I don't know how to say it, the back of the fret, or the fret closest to the sound hole. I try to not on the metal, because you will buzz if you're on the metal, you'll get that. But if you're close to that, that tightens the string down really well, and you'll get a good sound. So what that comes to, Nikki, is that you have to practice getting a good sound out of each note. That's where those practices come in, because you get the perfect press. Your fingers are going to be good. And actually, when you're pressing, you shouldn't be, like if your knuckles are getting tight and you're doing a chord and you're holding it, you're doing it wrong. You should be able just to place your finger down. Carrie? Hold on just a minute. You should be able to just place your finger down and actually do it. So practice where you place your finger on the board, okay? Just remember to do that, all right? So hopefully that answers your question, Nikki. And then depending on what chords you're actually doing, just see where the placement of your fingers are inside that chord, and you should be good, all right? So hopefully that answers your question. Awesome, Nikki. All right, so next thing we're gonna go to basics. We're gonna go teach yourself thing. Good question though, Nikki. I love it. Now we're on strumming, plucking. Okay, since we're on plucking. Plucking on this hand, I don't know if I've talked about this a lot, but you know you have 4 strings on your ukulele, okay? And when you're plucking, it's all up to you. I've seen people do different things. One is you can use one finger to pluck it, just maybe your thumb, each string, right? You can do that. But as you're moving your finger, if you're only using one finger, it takes a little bit longer to hit that note, okay? You can use 2 fingers, maybe your thumb and your finger. Control the top string with your thumb, and then these fingers you can use your finger for that. That's plucking, okay? Or you can have 3 fingers. I've seen people use 3 fingers. So they use your thumb to control that one. This is what I use. I use my thumb, finger, and then my middle finger on the bottom string, on the A string. So it's bum, 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 bum. And then you can also use 4. I've seen that happen. One finger for each string, which is probably the most effective way to do it. Okay. So and it's funny because like when I'm talking about plucking, it's actually when I'm talking about plucking, Abe talked about this. One of his tips was to be able to play the board and just noodle around and make it musical with just doing it freestyle, and be able to mess around on the board and use those plucks to do that. So one way I practice my plucks is using that actual chord. What we talked about before is the roundabout or the C around that, and I use those chords to actually practice my plucks. And also when you decide how many fingers you want to use, then practice that all the time. Just walk your fingers up and down. If you know it, here, let's see if you can see this. I use 3 fingers, so it's thumb, finger, bottom finger. If you guys can see that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a low G, so that's it'll sound a little bit funny because it's not linear. Okay, it won't sound like what I'm doing right now. But you can actually, if you have a low G, you can start with the 3rd string, then hit this string, and then you go down, then it will go that way. I don't have, actually, I do have one, yeah. Let me see if I remember. It's out of tune, but it's usually 1. If you have a high G, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Start on the C string, C, E, G, A. That would be more of a linear on a high G. So you can practice that one if you want to. used to be. That's when I had a high G. That's what I used to do. All right. So those different plucks, and it's just getting your fingers going, and make sure you can pluck like that all the time. If you notice, I just sit here and I can do this without even thinking about it. And one thing when you're plucking, also, if you notice, see this pinky? You want to mount it. The reason being is if your hand is off the board, and you try to pluck, it's hard to know where the distance between your fingers. When your pinky's here, it's like planted, and you can just do this all day. If your hand's free, you could try it. It's harder because the distance, you don't know the distance between your fingers. So when you're here, it just works like that. So practice those plucks. It's fun. And then going back to what Amy was talking about, strum and pluck, I know exactly what she's talking about because when I saw people doing that, I watched somebody go, and then they would. But that comes from doing this and then pluck. Strum, then pluck. And then you can practice different ones, like strum and the triplet, or I forget what they call this, and then strum, and then just pluck whatever, and just mess with your fingers doing that. It just gets fun going down the board, and just mess with your fingers. Abe was talking about this. Try to play a tune with your fingers without just messing around, and that helps you get down the thing. And I think I talked about scales. Learn your scales, and that'll help with your plucking also. Okay, and then that goes into the practice exercises that I've shown you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go check out my YouTube channel, which is Daniel Timtim, and I have my 15-minute practice every day. I remember when I was coming up learning, and I was like, man, everybody tells me I need to practice, but I didn't know what to practice because they never really show you. They tell you, but they don't show you. So I show my whole 15-minute practice what I do. You can copy it if you want, make it your own. I know over the years that I've been playing, I've changed my practices over time. As I got better, I wanted to practice different things, okay? But I always do my basic practice. So it's up to you what you guys want to do. But I would highly suggest it because every day, say it. Gary will say it. Keep on strumming ukulele. Nice. All right. All right. Now, if you guys go into the packets, there's like the chord charts. I'm just going to go over this really quick. Let's look at a chord chart. And it's kind of funny. I remember when I was first learning, I did get a chord chart, and I kind of understood. For those of you that are just starting out, this would be a chord chart. And what that represents, is if you look at the box, it actually has 4 lines, which represents going down. It represents G, C, E, A, going from left to right. Okay, and then that first fret. This is the first fret right here, and then it shows 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and 5th. Most boxes are like that on a chord chart. If you look over here, and then with those black dots is where you actually place your finger. And what you kind of want to do is, if you place your hand over the board and put one finger in each fret like that, okay, where these black dots are over here, like say if it's a C, right? If you notice, I'm using my index finger because if I place my fingers, that's the finger that controls that area, if that makes sense. Most of the time, that's what happens. Whatever finger is in that and it shows a dot. For example, if you look at the A chord, you have 2 dots right there. You see the A chord up top right here. And you have your first finger here on the 1st fret, okay? And then the second finger would be on the G string on the second fret. It looks like that, if you guys can see that. Here, here, and here. Trying to and that would be an A chord, okay? Some of these, if you look at it, like say for example, B flat, that's always a hard one, okay? That looks like this. I'm covering it with that finger that controls that, and then that dot right there, and then that dot right there. That's a B flat. That's one way to do it. I bar this whole thing. Because if you notice on the B flat right here, okay, in that first one, there's nothing, okay? Or the B. You can look at the B, you can just move it over. But a B flat, oh yeah, it's not on there. If you look at the B, I'm sorry, it's the B. B. But that's one over, but you can bar that whole thing, okay? Because those two dots on the end don't really matter. Look at B minor. That's a bar, and to do a bar, you want to kind of do this, all right? I don't know if you can see that. And then you add one up there, and that would be B minor. Okay. Look at another one, B7. So I just bar the whole thing, and then I add that one on the third fret, if you see that. Okay. That's how you read the chord charts. And a lot of times there, it depends on how, there's usually a way to do it, but there might be a couple different ways. So you want to, when you do the chords, do the way that's more comfortable for you, okay? And you'll understand that, all right, once you start getting into that. So that's a chord chart. What I used is when I would go home and when I was first learning, I would look at this chord chart and I would just put my finger there and do a C. Then I go to the next one and I would do a D. I would just press all those, do a D, then do an E. Not even strumming, because a lot of times I would just see how I position my hand, or where would I put my hand to get that position. F, and then G, and then A, and then B, and I would continue to just do that and like practice doing those actual chords. And what you're going to find is a lot of these chords shapes are the same for different chords, but just in different areas. For example, if you look at D, that's 3 dots there, but the C minor below it is over, but it's the same shape that you would use, okay? Let's see, F, no. And all those chords, the shape, there's like only so many shapes that you can actually do with the chords, so you'll find out what those are. But just practice, start with these basic chords and then go for it. Go back to teach yourself. Alright, plugging chord charts and song charts. So let me show you a song chart, and our famous one is Happy Birthday. And normally, once you start getting into songs, you might see a chord chart like this. There's other types of chord charts. There's tablature, there's all kinds of different things. People write them different ways. I've seen them all different. But this is normally what you're going to get. If you notice at the bottom, it says right here, it says San Jose Ukulele Club. And on those charts, I have some places where you can actually get all this information. And then this is a good spot to actually do it. But you can go to that San Jose Ukulele Club and actually get this song and then go for it. And what I do, I'm just going to give you a quick lesson on how to actually do it. And I was talking with Kamaki on this because he goes, yeah, a lot of people ask me this, like, if you don't know the song or the beat or anything like that, how would you play the song? Well, first of all, I would listen to it so I know how the melody kind of went and stuff like that. But I believe music comes from everybody, and when you're doing covers like this or doing another song, you can play it any way you want. And that's the way I like to do it. I like to play how I'm feeling for that day. And so what I would do, if you notice on this happy birthday, they're all the different keys. It's C, G, D, F. We're going to do C, which is pretty much easy. And if there's anybody's birthday, is there anybody's birthday out there right now? Hopefully not, but we'll just say happy birthday to all the mothers out there. How's that? But what I would do, since we know this song, it goes happy birthday to you. And if you see my head bobbing, I'm doing the beat. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mothers of the world. Happy birthday to you. So I know kind of like the beat in my with the way I'm saying it, but then what I would do is I call it the one hit wonder. So as I'm going along, I know what the C chord is, and if you know the C chord, get ready with me. And what you do is you go, and if you notice where the happy or where the C is, it's after the happy starts. So you would go happy and then C, birthday to, just one hit, to, and then G7, you. Happy birthday to you. That's a C. Happy, and then C7, birthday, dear F, mothers of the world. And then it says happy C to G7, and then U. So I got one hit wonder, and if I were to just play it out, I would try it again. I would go, okay, let's try this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mothers of the world. Happy birthday to you. Okay? And so that's the one hit wonder, and then when I start getting good at that, then I start going for it. I practice my practices, I did all my little plucks, learn how to do like different things, so I start adding those things into there. And this is what it ends up to be as you go along. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mothers of the world. Happy birthday to you. And you can do whatever you want to do on that. So, you know, hopefully that gives you an idea on how to do songs. But basically, just I've said this before, find songs that you like, print them out, and then go for it. If you like Happy Birthday, try this. This is a good song to learn because there's a lot of happy birthdays, and if you can break out your ukulele and play it, it's pretty awesome. All right. So, we're at 2 o'clock right now, and I'm gonna end. Sorry for the technical difficulties earlier today. You know, recently I've been contacting local ukulele teachers, local artists. You know, some like last time we were here, we had Abe Lagrimas. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. But I have some people online for the next ukulele basic classes, and just I want them to share, or I want you guys to hear what they went through to actually become a successful ukulele player like themselves. Because a lot of times I think we get frustrated, and we don't hear the stories, like, you know, how, you know, people made it to, you know, be good at playing ukulele. But what I found talking to all these guys, it's every day keep on strumming ukulele, and that's what they do. And plus they give you the little tips, and I'm learning so much from these guys. It's pretty awesome. I wish I had Kamaki on today because he had some good stuff for you. But come Wednesday we are going to have the social ukulele social on Zoom. The last one we had was pretty awesome. Abe actually came on again because we did have some technical difficulties before on that live show, and he actually played for us, which was pretty awesome. Oh, so I'm excited.
I didn't even see your car there. I looked.
And Dave just got in here. Dave's came in and he's serving the live show here. Come here, Dave. Say hi. He's like, he closed the door. He's like, oh. But yeah, I'm excited to do this. I know there's going to be a lot of stuff coming up, more shows, and like I was saying, I'm just trying to bring all the artists in so you can see them. Maybe you can get a lesson from them. Maybe you might get one tip that just resonates with you and it helps you get through whatever issues you're trying to do with your ukulele. I just want to, provide that knowledge for you guys and make sure that you have enough to, get through, especially this trying time. We can distract ourselves with the ukulele, which is not a bad thing. So, let's see. Anything else? Any questions? For all those new people out there, take this teach yourself to play ukulele. If you can't get the chart, just email us and I can get this out to you. But what I like about it are all those online resources that you see at the bottom there. Research. Go out there and check it. I hate to say this, but a lot of the questions you guys have for me are Googleable. So I'm gonna just make that a word, Googleable. Yeah, you can find out a lot of information. I just want to help you, steer you in the right direction. Check out all these YouTube stuff. If you guys want to go to my YouTube, I've been doing some cool vlogs and stuff or vlogs and stuff like that. You guys can check that out. So like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, definitely do that because we have a lot of events coming up. And because of this time, live shows and doing virtual stuff is the name of the game. So, and I like it. It's fun. We have a good time, and a lot of you guys out there, have been giving me feedback, and you got a lot of good stuff coming back to me. But if you guys have any ideas, feel free to let me know. And this Wednesday, if you guys are coming on. I don't want to sing the whole time, so I want to have some open mic guys. I want to hear your voices, and I want to hear you guys sing. So, maybe have something prepared. Challenge yourself. If you can't do it on a Zoom call, then I don't know where you can do it because you can see the people, but it doesn't. I don't think it matters. You just sing into the phone, and it doesn't matter how you sound. It's just a matter of you doing it and doing it quite a bit because every day. Keep on strumming. So I'm going to end it here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Keep practicing out there. Never stop learning. Don't fear to fail. Practice every day. Make it a habit. Start with 15 minutes a day. And every day, keep on strumming. I love you guys. I can't wait till Wednesday. Going forward, we're going to have a lot of good times. Nikki, keep on strumming. Gary, I know you're out there. Amy. She's my person that just keeps me going. Let's do some Zoom calls. So just keep all the comments coming, you guys, and I will see you in the near future. Stay safe. Have a good Saturday. Keep on strumming. No. Any questions? All right. See you guys. Have a good one.